All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if for its local search is city search, see if it's got BSS. And y'all already know we're back here in the GBC universe, where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent people, easy people, searching on Google, searching on social, social search, Google search for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And highest conversion rate, closest to the money. So we talk about here, BSS is the videos we make about. And over on the right, the lowest intent people, they ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. They are actually, they are actually not even able to search that because most of them don't even know what boudoir is. So lowest intent peeps, got to reach them through interruption ads on Facebook or Instagram. And our sister brand we talk about that is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, and we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. So when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, I mean, we're dying here. And that means 0 slots page 1 means we're page 2 or deeper. And we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even reach page 2. So they're page 1 and done searches. And that means we're not being seen or invisible to approximately 80% of the market, which is actually the bulk of the market. 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's not good either because now there's 10 organic slots, page 1 on Google. There's 9 other slots. Let's say there's 9 other boudoir photographers. So we got 1 slot, same as everyone else. We look the same as everyone else. We're not standing out at all. A boudoir buyer is actually just going to click down all 10 links and contact every boudoir photographer, drive compare prices, drive the prices down as much as possible, negotiate, margins collapse. So we cannot have only 1 slot on Google page 1 either. Next, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's common, it's accepted, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes, first one is market saturation. Basically, everyone knows about this one. Like just over time, people get new iPhones, people get new cameras, new gear, and they're throwing up their Google My Business profile saying they now offer boudoir photo shoots. They throw up, their website saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They post in the mom groups on Facebook saying they now shoot boudoir. So more sellers for the same number of buyers make it harder and harder for every single seller. Now, the one that most people do not know about is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is kind of, automatically accepting or not really questioning that, yeah, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And yeah, maybe my website was ranked 8th page 1 on Google. Then we had some market saturation coming in, and now I'm on page, I'm the second option, slot 2 on page 2. And it's like, well, that's market saturation. That's what happens. But I hope that, basically I hope they delete their website and Google de-indexes them so Google can bring me back on page 1. And so this is like kind of accepting this is actually a false belief, because what I figured out is Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using this new methodology we developed. So the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that. It's a false belief. Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. Next, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we got our micro-universe brewing here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation. aka S cubed methodology. And we know this because we invented it. And what's special about this is, well, first thing, how it works is exactly how the name says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer and the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, making sure we show up there. That's kind of like the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains in South America, on the backside of those mountains, the eastern side. Because what happens down there is that snow melts into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all floods into the Amazon River. That's Google page one. The snow at the top of the backside of those mountains, that's social search saturation. So we got to start with the snow, social search saturation, to dominate page one Google search. And again, this is the exact methodology I use to go from 0 to 10 slots page one on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page one on Google in only 10 days. Now, what's special about this strategy is this is the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight against market saturation and allow boudoir photography business to continue to grow, even without, basically in a relatively quick time frame. The second option that is out there is having a large, massive brand, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively quick requirement because that takes like 5 to 10 years. And interestingly enough, I believe this strategy, SQ methodology, can actually speed up creating a brand by approximately 8x kind of normal methods because we're on so many different surfaces being seen so much. That's, we're really hammering the mere exposure effect here, in our city's minds, kind of as a secondary benefit to getting these page one slots on Google. And, let's do an example here, SQ methodology. So let's say we're in Tampa, Florida. There's 1 million boudoir photographers in the market. We're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir. Everyone's fighting for page one Google search. We're like, do this competitions and saying our only chance, well, since we don't have a brand, large known brand, our only chance to effectively compete here is, basically it is to utilize S-cube methodology. So what we do is we crank it up to the max. So we crank up S-cube methodology to the max, and let's say we get the first 300 slots for social search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, and those flow down onto Google. Let's say we get the first 300 slots on Google as well, and each page is 10 organic slots. We're taking up basically the first 30 pages on Google. So basically anywhere a boudoir buyer looks in our city, we're taking up, let's say, the first 300 slots, any surface they search, social search, Google search, whatever search. And so if we're essentially the only one boudoir photographer they can find, whose business is going to be growing in this marketplace? Obviously our business is going to be the only one growing. And so the other 999,999 other boudoir photographers, competitors, they're all disappearing. They're on like page 31 of Google. Like, or if we know approximately 80% of peeps ain't even hitting page 2, we already know there ain't nobody going to page 31. So this is a kind of an example, like ultra extreme version of how this can enable a boudoir photography business to grow in the presence or in a market getting more and more saturated over time, and even in the face of larger brands. Now, once true with the SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. So initial benefit is, obviously we're getting more slots page one Google search, but the second benefit, actually a lot of boudoir photographers say they like this second initial benefit the best. So every time we take that new slot, we're actually kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So we're putting them on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even reach page 2. They're page 1 and done. So we're effectively disappearing our competitors where we can control if they disappear or not. And a disappearing boudoir photographer is kind of the flashing light, the warning signal that their boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where the GBC universe recommends hitting a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. And hitting that recommended minimum is because basically every other boudoir photographer is going to have one slot page one on Google. So if we got three, I mean, we're dominating them right there. If they, ultra rare case, they got two, our three still dominates them. So we want to hit 3 out of 10 page one slots Google search. Now, boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. This is our full micro universe here. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Okay, all well and good. We understand that now, but now we have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now for my results using this S-cubed methodology was I wanted to rank and dominate page one for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. Now the organic slots here, that's what S-cubed methodology is for. So let's go down through them, see how many I got. So first one, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So again, I went from 0 out of 10 slots page one on Google, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search in only 10 days. So these are my results that I got utilizing this strategy. Now onto the main event here, and check this boudoir photography business. I'm going to see, check its local search, check its city search, see if that BSS, yes or no. So let's see. Going to Williamstown and Defiance, Ohio. All right, Williamstown. Yeah, nice. All right, get rid of these. All right, let's see what we got. See what we got. Okay, I'm not seeing us here yet. All right, it looks like we're at 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google for local search. All right, now we're gonna check city search. Let's see, go down to organic. All right, here we go. All right, so city search, we got one. We got two. We got three. We got four. We got five. We got six. All right, I wonder if I switch these searches up. I wonder if Defiance is the local and the other one's the city search. But all right, so all right, we got 6 out of 10 for this one. So that's insanely good. So let's go. So local search, Williamstown, Ohio. That one must be the city search then. We do have BSS. We got 0 out of 10 slots page one on Google. We're not hitting the GBC recommend minimum, 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. But for the local search, Defiance, Ohio, we are hitting. We do not have BSS. We got 6 out of 10 slots page one on Google. We're definitely meeting the GBC universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. So insanely good. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer and you've done your local search for the highest 10 buyer keywords in local and city, and either you got BSS for one or both of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google, and you've accepted that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google will actually give us as many page one slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire, and you're liking the initial benefits of utilizing S-cubed methodology, namely, more slots page one on Google, and the second initial benefit, which is kicking out our competitors from page one of Google, making them disappearing boudoir photographers. And we also understand the market saturation, the two prongs of that. Yeah, new iPhones, new gear, more boudoir photographers over time. It's unstoppable, cannot stop. But yeah, you get that. But you're also looking ahead, and you're saying, man, AI is going to be already taking people's jobs. It's going to be taking more and more people's jobs over time. And so you're like, okay, there's going to be actually kind of more and more people pushed into becoming boudoir photographers by AI taking people's jobs. And guess what? Everyone's got a smartphone with a great camera. So this will be on top of people upgrading their gear, becoming boudoir photographers. They'll be forced to. Same as back in like COVID. So you see now you're like, all right, S-key methodology. This can actually fortify my position on page one, like by putting so many links on page one that we even got backup links on page one that Google ain't ranked because we took too many slots, which means these new boudoir photographers coming in, because of AI taking their job, they have no chance to even rank on page one. Kind of like building up the levees in Nolens, Louisiana, to keep the ocean out because the ocean's below sea level. So you're seeing, okay, SQ methodology, kind of a future benefit is basically fortifying current position to the kind of standard peeps that'll be coming through as they upgrade their gear, and the other peeps who are new Boudoir photographers, but they got laid off, so they needed to find some way to increase their income. And so you're liking that kind of future benefit. You also understand the two other future benefits, which is as we successfully execute methodology every single day, day in, day out, what we're actually getting is we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand. It's kind of like, the columns at the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or like the hub and spoke, kind of like bicycle wheel, the hub in the middle and all the spokes coming out. That's the hub in the middle is our brand, our business name, our website, our social handles. We're building up this kind of back-end AI mindshare that our brand is entrenched, connected with all these thematic keyword columns, which gives us the future increased probability, the future benefit of higher chance of being recommended right here in the AI overview in the premier prime real estate up on the top of search. And I mean, this is amazing. And can't even get this AI overview by paying for an ad. It's all about kind of, keyword frequency, relevance, age, authority, all things like that. Kind of every day we build these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business name. Our probability of being recommended in AI overview increases. Same way as being recommended in AI search. It's the same exact thing. ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, same exact process. And so if peeps are, peeps searching for boudoir photographer through AI search, dude, it's more and more every day. I mean, right now in Google standard search is like 90% of global search, but dude, AI search is more and more every single day, 100%. And last time I did a search for boudoir photographers in the city, it was with ChatGPT and it recommended me 3. And I actually then went like Google standard search to that city. And I would see, okay, how many boudoir photographers are actually in the city? Like standard search. And dude, there was like 60. I was like, what? We got to find a way. We got to get one of these 3 slots in, AI search with these AI search apps. And so you like those 2 future benefits. You also understand my plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. My current plan is to work with only 1 boudoir photographer per city. So you're seeing that, okay, you've decided to be the first mover because, becoming the first mover, you can actually kick out your competitors and actually, dude, build a massive gap between you and all your competitors now and the future competitors coming from AI taking people's jobs. Like this massive AI backend mindshare gap with all these thematic keyword columns that we'll be focusing on. And you also understand the reverse, where if one of your competitors actually, jumps out with me first, well, then you're going to be locked out from using our S-cubes methodology. And you're actually going to have to go rederive it, derive it the first time for yourself. You'll never actually know if you've derived it correctly because we've perfected this. And then you're going to have to equal our execution every single day. But me and your competitor, would have already been working on it for a ton, successfully executing every day. So we'd already start with a massive gap ahead of you. So with you executing equally to us every single day, you would maintain that gap. So you'd have to actually double or triple our execution every single day to like be pulling back that thematic keyword mindshare from the AI systems and their backend brain from me and your competitor towards you. And who's got 80 hours to do all this? Plus, you won't be 100% confident you've derived it correctly anyway, so probably hard to even put in the effort initially to execute it. So you realize now that, and you're like, screw that. And you're like, screw that. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather be the first one to actually, rather be the first one to, in my city, to block out all the competitors. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM. And yeah, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. The hospital opens up again, because right now, new patient intake is closed. But when I do, open up the slots for new patient intake, then yeah, shoot me a DM, and we will see if you qualify to use our SQ'd methodology.